What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Better Mark. I'm Mark. I want to break down the NBA basketball betting slate as we get into March 11th. These Monday plays. Forgive me for this video coming out a little bit late. Have a horrible case of the Mondays. Kids were going to school. There's 2 inches of snow out in my front yard. If you guys watched my college basketball video, you heard my rant against that. I'm very upset I had to put the golf clubs away, but that's neither here nor there because this video is all going to be about what we're doing tonight with this NBA card, okay? And it's one where I got to be honest with you guys. I don't love it. I don't love the games, but there's always angles. There's always ways to use the NBA card to make money, to cash tickets, and that's what it's all about. So we're going to be more prop-centric. I'm going to give you guys 3 of my best bets. It's a smaller slate, and sometimes that's for the better. It gives us a little bit more of an opportunity to read between the lines and get some advantages, get some edges along the way. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking down 3 plays. We're going to go recap yesterday's picks as well, and then we're going to get down into it, guys. But first, let's take this opportunity to get into today's channel sponsor, which in this case is myself. I'm promoting a giveaway I'm doing for March Madness. This is one where I'm going to give away a free jersey, courtesy of Fanatics.com, shipped directly to you. And right now, guys, this is one where all you have to do is subscribe here on YouTube. And if you're subscribed on YouTube, perfect. Click the link down below in the description. Go over to my page on X and click that like button. Follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and share that with 3 of your friends. Now, by retweeting it and sharing that post that I've pinned right here, you can see it right here on my pin page on X. That's going to allow you to basically tell me that you're entered to win this jersey giveaway, okay? And then we're going to do a live randomization on X before the March Madness tournament kicks off, one where after Selection Sunday, I'll put instructions on how to know that, and then we'll get down to the details, and one lucky subscriber will win a jersey of their choice, courtesy of Fanatics, okay? And let's get down into it. This is one where we're going to break down the slate, get into the numbers as well as my best bets, but first, let's recap yesterday's plays. That's one where we look at what went on in the association, and we were able to take it home. We were able to take it home with Milwaukee covering that. I think it was 3.5 is what I ended up locking in. Might have been 5.5 when it crept up with some of the injuries and inactives. Winning by 7 in Los Angeles, okay? And then we also had the New Orleans Pelicans, able to get it done, winning by a margin of 13 points, where we covered that with ease. And then the one game that was really kind of an outlier, kind of upset about it because it's one where I've been backing the Magic, and I thought this was a good home spot, a get-right game. Indiana's been kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. You never know what team you're going to get. When Orlando plays great defense, and they did so. I mean, holding the Pacers to 111 points is a feat in itself, but they were not able to get it done offensively, only scoring 97, losing that contest 111-97. So 2-1 again in the NBA. I'll take it. I'll cash tickets, profitable days. Nobody can be upset about that, and we move forward, and we live to bet another day, okay? So let's get down into tonight's plays, and guys, before we get going, make sure you guys all subscribe down below. That's why I'm doing that March Madness promotion, is because we got over 1,000 subscribers, all thanks to you guys. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff here on the channel. I'm looking to get a March Madness bracket going for you guys as subscribers. Obviously, no cost to enter that, but there's a lot of things that I'm going to be unveiling. I want to kind of use this as a way to enter into me getting into a Patreon, so that way I can give you guys some live plays, some big stuff, some more inside track to what I do on a daily basis, okay? But that's what we got going on the channel. Enough with me talking. Let's get into the picks. That's why you guys are here, okay? And this is when we're going to go out to the first game. This is where we look at the Charlotte Hornets going and playing the Detroit Pistons. A -4 open. We got that bet down to 3.5 in most cases, and also a total of 215.5. This is a no play for me, okay? And if I had to give you guys a lean, Charlotte is one of those teams. I mean, this is basically dirt on dirt. This is 16-48, Pistons 10-53. Which team of these two are going to be in tank mode first? That's the real question we're going to ask ourselves. But Detroit's been playing some good ball, okay? Detroit's been playing some good ball. You could see this reverse betting split where a lot of the money's flowing in on Detroit -4, and that number's creeping up a little bit in some places as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but more bets have been on Charlotte on the road +4. So it's a no play for me. I don't see a clear advantage, and I personally like to tie my money up in my capital within betting, my bankroll, with teams that are more more well established. I want to know their clear motives I'm not going to go on a whim saying that Charlotte's going to lay an egg on the road on a Monday, playing one of the worst teams in the NBA. So it's a no play for me. But if I had to give you guys a lean, I probably would lean towards taking Detroit with that -4. Okay. Next, Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, hosting the Phoenix Suns. Cleveland off a back-to-back. Phoenix off the back-to-back as well, traveling after playing the Celtics. And one where we look into this, guys, and I want to share with you a little bit what's going on within the Phoenix Suns. It's something where I want to actually pull something up real quick, so bear with me just to double-check some of my numbers. And yeah, that's where we look at the Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns are actually not on a back-to-back, so apologies for misspeaking, but they did play the Boston Celtics on Saturday. Okay, that's where I got a little confused. Forgive me. It's leap year. It's daylight savings time. It's snowing in March. I mean, just bear with me. Forgive me on that. It's an early morning as well, but we're back at it, and let's get into it because we're going to talk about Cleveland, and this is one where we see a little bit of health coming into play. Okay, a little bit of the health is coming back into the equation. We're going to talk about the Cavs potentially getting healthier, okay, and we look at this game, and we look at the 6 points the Cavs are getting at home. I can't believe it, guys. I know a few people that went to the game last night actually against Brooklyn, and what a way to waste money on tickets. I mean, granted, great environment. I love the arena, love the environment, the atmosphere. They really do a good job putting on a show there. But losing to the Nets, I mean, that's why the Nets are firmly on my no-bet zone. No-fly list for me. I will not touch them. For or against, it's just something where for them to come out and do what they did against Cleveland, winning 120-101, and now Cleveland looks to come off a back-to-back. Dean Wade's questionable. Strus is questionable. Mitchell's questionable. Is he coming back off of that knee, those platelet injections? Garland's now questionable. Mobley's still out, okay? And conversely, we look at the Suns. Gordon will be out. Booker's still questionable. And it's just one where you look at this game, I wish we had some more status, some more well-known facts. If you do get some Mitchell news, I would probably lean towards taking an under, kind of fading him on a minutes count, potentially seeing that number being low. We'll see what it opens at. Not a lot of the props are out there right now as I'm currently recording, but this is one where we look at potentially fading against some of the injuries, and that's where I'm going to look at, you could put them all together, and hopefully some people are on minutes restrictions, hope for blowout potential, and kind of go away from the Cavaliers in this contest. But all the public's flying in on the Suns -6, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that injury report. That number will move. It will get absolutely nasty, I think, if Cleveland can't suit up some of their main guys and the Suns look to run away with this one on the road. So that's one where it's a no play for me at this current time because of the sheer injury report and the questionable status of a lot of guys. But I would lean towards taking the Suns -6, okay? -5.5 is out there on MGM. I'll flash it for you guys on your screen. And that'll be my official lean. No play other than maybe looking into some props later on in the day, okay? Next, the Dallas Mavericks traveling on to the Chicago Bulls. One where we look at the Mavs, and I've been riding the Luka Doncic triple-double train pretty much the whole streak. And, I got in it probably just after the second game. I got it in the third time he hit the triple-double. And it's one where we look at the Mavs. In Chicago, they play some defense. They play some ball. I'd probably lean towards taking the Chicago Bulls +4.5. It's a little bit of a fishy line, lower spread for what we see, a higher total. Chicago plays great defense, but they've been giving up some points as of recent. And the Mavs, we go into some of the analytics with them. They've been balling. That's just basically how I'm going to word it for you guys. And it's something where they don't like to play a lot of defense, but they do score a crap ton of points. I mean, winning 142-124 at Detroit. Now they go to Chicago. Short road trip, okay? They had Sunday off to rest, to relax, and now basically they're going to play Chicago on the road once more, okay? And it's one where I do see them potentially winning. It's a no play for me, but if you had to ask for a lean, it would be towards that over, as well as the -4 with the with the +4 with the Chicago Bulls, okay? That's where I would see the value, but no play, and I think this is the game where Chicago gets it done defensively, and Luka's triple-double streak absolutely comes to an end, which is unfortunate to see because I think that's one where if he could keep that going, it might vault him a little bit more in that MVP status, okay? Next, the Warriors, okay, going on the road, playing San Antonio. One where we look at the game from an injury standpoint, it's another big one. Draymond's questionable. Moses Moody's questionable. Curry remains out. All right, and for the Spurs, conversely, we're going to have Victor Wembanyama. I heard that he's not playing. But we also have some other key injuries. Vassal's questionable. Cedi Osman's out. The Spurs are firmly in that tank mode, but they've covered 4 games out of 5 against the spread with 1 push along the way. So it's one where we're seeing a little bit of a reverse line. We're seeing a little bit of a movement towards the Spurs. All right, getting that opening line. It was up at 6 at some places, 5 in most, but getting bet down to that 4.5 point mark. Money's flying in on the Spurs. So this is one where we look at them in their romping of what we had with Golden State, winning 126-113. That game was a lot more ugly than it actually ended up being, if we really truly want to call it that. But they're going to host Golden State once more at home, and it's tough to beat opponents back-to-back. It really, truly is. But these injuries really caused some pause within my handicap and what to expect, because without Draymond, Golden State's a completely different team. So one where it's basically going to be Kuminga and company, and when we look at it from a handicap perspective, I'd be more inclined to take the Warriors if this goes any lower, but it's one where I want to stay away from it, guys. Without Wembanyama, without Curry, without some of those big pieces, it's really hard to handicap, especially after the recent game, where I'd love to say, okay, Golden State, get right game, hard to beat them twice in a row, but without Draymond status officially known, it's one where I'm not going to get in bed with. I'm just going to pass on this game as well. Okay, next we're going to go out to the Toronto Raptors taking on the Denver Nuggets on the road. Big number here, 14.5. That's 14.5, and that's where a lot of the money is flying in on Toronto, taking that huge number. We look at some of the injury concerns, who's questionable, who's in, who's out, and for the most part, guys, it's pretty fair. It's pretty fair. Nothing really to report on the Denver Nuggets side, but for the Toronto Raptors, Boucher's questionable, Brown's questionable, RJ Barrett's questionable, Carton's questionable, Scotty Barnes still remains out, Podol's out. Everything sets up for just a romping from the Denver Nuggets in this contest, but this is one where I'm not going to play the absolute side. I'm going to trust the Denver Nuggets defense, mile high, getting it done at home, using those possessions, slowing the tempo down, getting out to a hot start with a big lead, resting some of their guys, and just getting out of Dodge and moving on to live and fight another day. So we're going to look for the best number out here, and Hard Rock's offering that 231. We're going to be taking the under 231 in the Denver Nuggets Toronto Raptors game as my second official play. Okay, and then next we're going to get into the last game on the card, Boston Celtics traveling on the road, late night tip, 10:30 Eastern against the Portland Trailblazers. And this is one where we have another case of the Mondays when it comes to injuries. All right, everybody and their brother would suggest that Boston's going to completely win by double digits, covering 3 of their last 5. Portland, however, 4 of their last 5, and they've been a pretty solid team against the spread, basically 500, really sticking at some spots, despite having that 18-45 record overall. But when it comes down to Portland, guys, this is one where you look at the injury report for the Boston Celtics. We got Holiday questionable. Porzingis is out. Jaylen Brown's questionable. Tatum's questionable. Derek White's questionable. All right. So this seems to possibly have the implications that it's going to be backups on backups. Portland's injury report is pretty vast as well. But one where this will be my final official play, okay? And this is one where I apologize because I'm recording this video a little bit early in the day. The numbers aren't out because they're waiting on the injuries, okay? The injury reports are coming out, and it's something where we're going to take a dive into some of the statistics. This is going to be another prop play that I'm going to get into. And here we go, guys. This is where we look at the likes of Delano Banton, okay? Now, this is one where I want to share with you guys kind of a young player getting an opportunity and what he's done recently. And this is one where nobody probably watching this game, even Celtics fans, know who this guy is. But we look at some of the numbers, guys. I'm going to read them off to you. In his first run-in within what we've seen with the Portland Trailblazers, some of his numbers, guys, has been very interesting, okay? And correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm seeing here from my card is 14 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He's been averaging from his first get-up since being part of that first unit within the Trailblazers. That's one where we're going to look at this and try to capitalize on the potential of a points, rebounds, and assists for Delano Banton in this contest. Once that number gets released, I'm sure everybody's going to jump on it. But let's look at the last few games, okay? Since joining that starting lineup, 33 minutes, 29 minutes, 38 minutes, 42 minutes. He's getting the volume from a field goal standpoint. Look at the threes. 6 threes, 6 threes, 10 threes, 8 threes. Those are there. He's getting to the stripe a bit. 8 free throws attempted. But more so, guys, let's look at these. That's what's going to get us home. Pretty much consistent. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. So around that 11 to 13 mark in the rebounds assist column, and getting it done from a points perspective. Okay, that's where I broke down his averages: 25, 30, 13, and 18 respectively. Okay, so what I look for in this is we'll just take the median of all this, and if we can get a 28, a 27 and a half, 26 points, rebounds, and assists for Delano Banton, I think that number is actually going to be pretty low when it gets established. I'm going to be taking Delano Banton over points, rebounds, and assists. And actually, guys, I want to come out and throw you a bonus play, one that I forgot to mention. It was the first game on the card. And this will be a bonus play. So we'll actually have 4 official plays on this card, and I'm going to recap them all before you guys get out. But we're going to talk about the Charlotte Hornets. Go back to the well. I've played this prop pretty much. It's kind of one where I look for a great matchup and I just shoot for it because it's a strike prop. It's one where I'll bet it. It's like the Victor Wembanyama blocks and steals. Okay, every time it's a good number against a good opponent, a good matchup, I look to lock it in. So within this contest, we're gonna be taking Brandon Miller over 2.5 3-pointers. Get it while it's hot. We're gonna see it. We've seen this in some spots get as high as -140, -145, -150. And right now I'm looking at -125, I believe, on DraftKings. Where we look at Brandon Miller, and I don't want to misspeak here, but some of my notes that we've seen is he had, I think, 10 attempts last time out from 3-pointers against Detroit. Detroit's bottom of the pack when it comes to defending the 3-point shot, and all we need is 3 points. 3 3-pointers from Brandon Miller. So lock it in, -125 before that number creeps up. And then to recap the official plays I'll be locking in Monday, March 11th for this NBA slate. And I want to correct myself. I believe I said earlier in the video that it was 4 official plays, 3 plays with a bonus play, but it's actually only 3 that I'll be locking in. So forgive me, haven't had my full cup of coffee yet to get the day going, but that's where I want to lock down these 3 plays where we're going to be taking the Brandon Miller over 2.5 3-pointers against Detroit, -125. The Denver Nuggets under 231 within that point total, where we look for the Nuggets to cover the under. 231 is out there, shop around. And then also the last play would be Delano Banton over points, rebounds, and assists, where I look for him to comfortably go over 30-plus points, rebounds, and assists. We'll see where that number comes from, okay? As a starter in this lineup, the number hasn't been established due to a lot of the injury concerns with the Celtics. But once those props come out a little later in the day, make sure you guys are all looking for it. I'll try to update what I lock it into in the comments, but I'll have to check periodically, and it may not come until later on in the afternoon before you actually see that in the comments. So remember to circle back to the video, and those are my 3 official plays for this NBA slate. Let's try to keep the luck going, keep the bets winning, and that's kind of how I want to do it on the channel for you guys. But as always, nobody has a crystal ball. It's sports gambling, but I love it, and I wanted to share with you guys my official plays for this Monday. And also, let's talk a little bit more on your way out. Make sure you guys all check out the link down below in the comments. Go on my page on X, participate in the March Madness giveaway for that free jersey, and I appreciate you all being part of the channel. I just wanted to give back a little bit to you guys as we crossed over that 1,000 subscriber threshold. Next up is 10,000. That's my next goal. Can't do without you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And let me know down below in the comments as well. I'm thinking about putting together a March Madness giveaway, like I said. I might have said it a little earlier in this video, or it was in my college basketball breakdown. But guys, like I said, it'll be also at the trailer, your end screen. If you want to go over, watch my college basketball video, see what my plays are. We've been really hot in college basketball in these conference tournaments. As we get into March Madness, it's a great time to be a basketball bettor. One of my favorite times of the year. Hope you guys are all along for the ride. Make sure you subscribe on your way out, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Go cash some tickets. Cheers.